Hey guys, just wanted to show a quick update of what I've been working on with BeastMode2. So I've been focusing on getting the Knight AI working. So they're going to be the replacement for, let's see if I can get through here without them noticing me. They're going to be the replacement for the hillbillies in the original game, since we're going with a more serious tone. And so I definitely wanted them to be a lot more threatening. So they're kind of thrown into the mix to just try and screw with your high score that you can achieve. And yeah, so I've implemented just a really basic attack animation, just a two-hit attack. I've still got lots of work to do on the Werewolf itself, but this is just, again, focusing on the Knight AI. So we got a couple of different knights here. We've got the Knight Captain. I've introduced him in a previous video, but so he's got this nice gold armor with the wings, both on his helmet and on his sword, and that purple cloak, which is cool. We've got the regular knight, and they're going to have different health stats. Right now, they don't actually do much in the way of damage, just because I've really cranked up the health on the werewolf character just for testing purposes. So I wanted to make sure that I'm not dying while I'm trying to test attacking them. So the different knights will do different amounts of damage and have different health. So the idea being that you know, you're not going to see the knight captains until later levels in the game. But yeah, so we got the knight captain, we've got the regular knight, and then we've got the mercenaries. And the difference with the mercenaries is they have a really long greatsword, but they don't actually have shield, so they can't guard quite as well. But yeah, so I'm just going to show off some of the functionality here. So we've got the ability to attack the knights now, and you can see it plays like an animation when they get hit. They of course don't like being hit, so they'll chase you down and attack you back. They can block with their shield there, which is really cool, and it prevents them from taking damage. They'll also attack you, and you get stunned when you get attacked, which actually slows down your movement speed for a couple of seconds. So if you get attacked a few times in a row, it can actually get you into a heap of trouble there. But let's keep attacking this guy, and we've got some different sound effects playing for when you're actually successfully landing attacks. So when you hit the shield, it's got like a bassy you know, thump to it with claw scratch sounds, but when you actually hit the armor, you'll hear kind of claws tearing through metal, and also that flesh rending sound effect. So it's really cool. And the sound effects actually I've set up so that they are using randomized code, so that way they're basically, I've layered a bunch of different sound effects, and I'm grabbing from a repository of different sounds. So like the impact sound and the flesh tearing sound are all grabbing from a pool, and then it's mixing them together in real time. So that way each time it plays the sound effect, it's going to be subtly different, so you won't get repetitive sounds every time. So that's cool. And we'll take a look at one of the mercenaries here. So I was tweaking their animation because they don't have a shield. They run with a different animation, and they have the ability to parry your attacks, which is cool with this sword itself. So it functions the same way as the shield does, but it just looks different and cooler, if you ask me. And then the other thing you might have noticed is I've added, I created basically an actor component for impact sounds that I can add to any actor in the world. So I've added that to both the sword and the shield, so that they play different sound effects when they hit the ground. So after you kill the character, it applies a amount of force with the last attack, which you'll see the guy gets ragdolled, but also their weapons go flying, so it's kind of cool. And yeah, they play unique impact sounds for that, so that was a lot of fun to set up. Let's see, what else did I work on? Oh, the other thing I did, and I'll try and show you this by getting two of them to attack me, is I randomized the play rate of the animations for each character. So when they're attacking you at the same time, it's subtly, you'll notice that they both played that same attack animation, but it's subtly changing the speed at which that animation plays. So the animations aren't synchronized, basically. So there you go. It avoids just that pure synchronization effect that sometimes happens with AI. It's one of the things that really drives me nuts is when you see things perfectly synchronized in games. So I wanted to add that in to just make sure that we avoid that kind of animation synchronization. But yeah, so this is basically it for the current update. The next thing I'm going to be working on is getting the attacks for the oh, that guy went flying. Getting the attacks for the werewolf working a little bit better, so there's a larger variety of attacks. I'm probably going to work on some animations, and right now I'm using the same werewolf model and animations from the original game, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to find an animator later on. Let's just restart the level while I'm chatting here. Hoping that I've got a different werewolf model that I feel looks a little bit more intimidating, just because as cool as this guy looks, he is a little kind of goofy and cartoony, even when I added the fur to him. So I've got another werewolf model, and I'm trying to find somebody who's willing to contribute some animations. I might even hit somebody up on Fiverr looking into that, but that's going to come later. But for now, I'm just working on, giving a larger variety to the attack animation. So instead of just swinging or running into the characters like you did in the previous game, it's going to have a lot more functionality. I'm considering working on sort of like a wall running mechanic. So I thought it would be really cool to be able to like run up the walls a little bit and then maybe dive off them and attack the characters, either the peasants that are going to be in the game to replace the hippies or the knights themselves. One of the other things that I wanted to do is have, because in this version of the game you can get damaged and you can actually get killed by the knights, I thought it would be cool to have a way that you can heal, and so I wanted to add in basically like a bite attack move where you can like jump onto a peasant and bite their head off, and that actually regenerates your health. So that's something I'm going to work on, but obviously it's going to come a little bit later because I still have to work on the peasants themselves, and all of those systems are going to need a lot more animations. I can do the animations myself. I'm just not amazing at animations. So it'd be nice if I could find somebody else to work on the project with me who's more specialized in animations. But either way, I'll get it working. So yeah, it would be really cool to have that kind of an ability. I also thought it might be funny to put in some different farm animals like pigs or sheep that are sometimes in the maps, and you could maybe attack them and eat them to recover some of your health. But it's a trade-off of whether or not you want to recover health or try and get that faster time for the high score. Anyways, so hopefully you guys have liked what you see so far. Oh, I also tweaked the jumping animation. So previously, the jump animation in games are broken into three components. There's like the jump start animation, the jump loop animation, which is kind of when you're free falling here. So this is the jump loop, and then the jump end animation, or the landing. And previously I just had the jump loop being in a static pose. I couldn't quite get an animation looking right. But the other day I decided it might be a good idea to just kind of do a really slow motion movement. So you can see when he jumps here, he kind of slowly spreads out his body a little bit. And from a side view, his mouth is opening actually when he does it. I'm going to add in some kind of free look ability too, so that you can kind of manipulate the camera around your character a bit more, instead of always just having the camera flow behind him. So that's going to make things look a little bit more cinematic, I think. Yeah, you'll see in those from those angles, you'll see the character looking a lot cooler and scarier. But anyways, yeah, that's it. So if you've liked what you've seen so far in the update video here, be sure to hit the like button. If you haven't liked it, hit the dislike button so I can know. Feel free to comment on the videos, and if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe for future updates. All right, guys. I'll see you again later.